Hello everyone and welcome to Fletcher Farms Amarillo. I'm Julie Fletcher. It's been an absolutely amazing year here on the farm, and I wanted to give you all an update on everything that's been happening for the most part with all our rescued horses. In 2024, we have rescued 53 equines, and for us to start out with 11 of them, and then in 2023 we rescued 23, and now to be rescuing 53 equines this year in 2024 is pretty amazing for the small farm that we are. Right now we have 63 horses living on the property, and we also have 8 donkeys. We did just rescue another 2 mares from Wish Upon a Horse and 3 donkeys. I will do a video on them later. We did a quick fundraiser for them and got them rescued and brought back to the farm, and we're working on getting them medical. But I wanted to give you an update on all the rest of the horses that we've rescued. I'm probably going to do this in a couple different videos since there has been 42 horses that I need to go over medical on, and I don't want to bore everybody all at once. So I know everyone has been asking about the Percheron that we rescued, Walter, and also Persephone. So she was the horse that went from Bowie to Mexico and refused to get off the trailer in Mexico at the slaughterhouse. So she was brought back to Bowie, and they networked her, and we ended up rescuing her. That poor girl has been at MVP for the last month because she has a fractured jaw, and she also has a laceration on her tongue and an infection. The infection was in her mouth because of the laceration that was on her tongue, and also she had a corneal abrasion on her eye. So that's a little bit about her. This was a couple of videos that I had taken of her when she got here, and a couple videos from MVP. So this is Persephone.
It's going to be lot number 8112 with the Bowie Texas Livestock. This is going to be a big Belgian mare. Big quiet old girl. She came into us a little worn out and beat up. You see her hips pretty sore right there. Her eye is a bit beaten up and swollen. She's able to see out of that one. On the other side, she's going to have a blue eye. She's going to be not able to see out of the right eye. So she came in to us like this just late last night. If anyone would like to help her out, she's with Bowie Texas Livestock.com. She needs a lot of TLC, but she's a big, kind, gentle mare. She'll be another Amish horse being used. She'll have been used on the pasture and in the field, but she is pretty darn sore by the look of her, so she will need some TLC.
After seeing this sweet girl's livestock yard video, there was no way that we could let this poor thing ship to slaughter again. So we did a quick fundraiser for her and raised the money we needed for her bail and transport. And a few days later, we headed out to Bowie Texas Livestock and picked this girl up and gave her a much-deserved freedom ride. After getting a good look at this girl at the livestock yard, the side of her face was extremely swollen, and she was having a problem with that eye, so we did stop at Claude Veterinary Hospital on our way home and got her some emergency medical attention. We got her some pain meds and also an antibiotic shot to help her with the issues that she was having, because as you can see, she was in pretty rough shape. She was having a hard time eating when we did get her home, so we gave her some Alpha Pro mash and kept her comfortable for the night, and 2 days later we took her down to MVP for some additional medical attention. The problem that she was having, we didn't know if it was because of the tongue laceration or if she had a tooth issue. So Dr. Maggie took some x-rays of her mouth, and she also floated her teeth to see if it was a tooth issue. She did end up having a fracture in her jaw and a very large laceration under her tongue that was infected. So the fracture in her jaw was already in the process of healing, so there wasn't anything that they could do for that. But the laceration under her tongue and the infection, they wanted to make sure that they were monitoring that. So Persephone did end up staying at the vet's office, and she has actually been there for the last month. She's been doing really well, and the girls have been taking care of her at MVP, and they seem to absolutely love her. So every time we bring another horse to the vet, we always stop by and see Persephone, and we're really excited that we can hopefully bring her home soon. She is improving every day, and the infection in her mouth is going away. What they're really treating right now is the corneal abrasion that she had. That was pretty bad, and if anyone knows anything about horse eyes, they can go sideways real quick. So they've been keeping her at the vet's office for to monitor her and make sure that she's going in the right direction and that she's healing properly. But these were some of the videos from when we went to go visit her at the vet's office, and we really can't wait to get this sweet girl home so she can live a happy retirement. Persephone also has some wounds on her face from being down in the trailer for probably about 4 days to and from Mexico. So these are actually healing up very nicely as well, and they've been treating those at the vet's office too. So this girl really has been to hell and back, so that's why we decided to name her Persephone. So keep this little girl in your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully we'll be able to bring her home soon. But that's an update on Persephone and how she is doing since she was rescued last month. And like I just mentioned as well, Walter is the Percheron that we rescued. They were calling him Grandpa from his original videos, but as I explained in another video, we couldn't call him Grandpa because we already had a horse named Grandpa, so his name is actually Walter. But this is a video of Walter and how he's doing now.
Lot number 3966 with the Bowie Texas Livestock. This is going to be a Percheron gelding, about 20-something years of age, 22, 23 years of age at least. And he's 17 hands. He's been used for years up in the Amish community. They said he's worked extremely well. As you can see, he's a lot thinner. He needs a good senior feed. He needs a good worm dose. Plenty of help needed right here.
Since Walter was in such bad shape and completely underweight, he was on the direct ship list. So when we saw that, someone brought it to our attention on our Facebook page and tagged us in his post. And we did a fundraiser for him, and we ended up rescuing him as well. When we got to Bowie Texas Livestock, he was in very rough shape. He was extremely underweight and didn't know what actual condition he was in until we could get him to the vet. So this was an update on us bringing him home and taking him to the vet's office. Walter, like Persephone, was having a hard time eating, so we did end up putting him on Alpha Pro Mash. And since he was so underweight and we hadn't had him to the vet yet, we were only just feeding him just a little bit along with some grass hay. He was very underweight. You could see every rib in his body, and his hips were definitely pronounced as well. So he had a long road to recovery, but we were going to get him taken care of and on the road to recovery and a healthy life. Dr. Wagner was out a few days later checking on some other horses, and we had her just give him a quick checkup. His heart rate was good, his gut sounds were good as well, but we did need to bring him in to get his teeth floated and to take a closer look at Walter to make sure that he didn't have any other issues going on. Walter had a giant mat and tangle in his mane, and most of his mane was all matted up. So Walter got a trip to Taryn's hair salon, and Taryn got all the knots out of Walter's mane, and she had a lot of work to do, but his mane looks absolutely phenomenal now. Walter, would you like to show off your beautiful mane? I know, look at that. Taryn got all the knots out. It looks beautiful. And it's all silky. No more tangles. I know, look at that. I know. We did get Walter down to MVP so we could get a closer look at him. His blood work was perfect, and Dr. Wagner did look at his teeth. We found out that he's probably about 22 years old, and he has no grinding surface on his teeth, so he will be a special needs horse and most likely stay on just Alpha Pro. So Dr. Wagner did get his teeth floated, and he also had a little bit of sinus discharge from his right nostril. So Dr. Wagner did a procedure where she taps into his sinus and drains that out. just to flush out the sinus cavity to get any of the yuck out. He's probably the third or fourth horse that we've had this done to. Once they do that and he stays on antibiotics for a couple weeks, the symptoms all go away and everything seems to clear up. So other than that, Walter got a clean bill of health. So the procedure involves a needle into his sinus cavity, and basically they flush saline solution through it, and it comes out his nose and it takes all the yuck out as well. This helps him feel better, and in a couple days he was doing much better. Oh, let me see.
I was gonna say, can you
I think it says 12:50. 12:50.
Walter, would you like to go out for a walk today? What you think? Huh? Come on, let's go for a walk. Oh, here we go.
Walter is doing much better since his procedure. No more snotty nose, and we've been letting him out into the paddocked area since it's under construction for right now, so he can get some exercise and kind of mingle with the other horses. But he is picking up weight, and we've increased his Alpha Pro every 3 days up 1 pound, so he's eating about 13 pounds right now. He started out at about 5 pounds, so he's been doing really well on the Alpha Pro and eating a little bit of hay and getting stronger every single day. But this was Walter out in the paddocked area and making some new friends. Definitely cleaned up a little bit. Taryn took care of his mane and got all the knots out of him. And we do have him on some omegas to help his skin. Because of his teeth and everything, he is on mostly an Alpha Pro MASH diet. And we haven't turned him out with the rest of the herd yet because we need to get him stronger and get some more weight on him. But as you can see, over just the last couple weeks, we've gotten some more weight on him and his hips aren't as pronounced. So we're feeding him slowly and getting him back healthy. And let me tell you, he's a spunky little guy. And the other horse I get so many questions about is little Penelope. So Penelope was rescued in October, and she is a 6-month-old filly Belgian draft horse. She was put on the direct ship list at Bowie Texas Livestock because she was having a problem with her stifle joint. At the time, we didn't know what it was, but this was a video from her vet appointment on her stifle joint.
Number 3602 at the Bowie Texas Livestock, Belgian filly, 14 hands, 4 months old. Now, shame on this filly right here. Pretty sore to the stifle. Don't know what happened. That's the way she is. She's going to be direct ship. She will ship Monday of next week. She is direct ship to Mexico. If you want to help her out, you got a few days.
Little backstory on Penelope. Since she was injured, there was no way that we were going to let her ship directly to Mexico, being only 4 months old. So we had rescued a bunch of other horses, so we ended up paying her bail as well and rescued her and put her in the truck so she could take her freedom ride with the rest of the horses that we rescued that day.
Come on, little one. It's okay. Come on. Come on, sweetie.
Oh my, she's so worried.
She's thinking about it. She's following you. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. And the little girl. We've got her in a smaller pen on the other side of the barn from everybody else so she can kind of just relax. Looks like that back left leg, she's not putting a lot of weight on it, and she kind of keeps it tilted back. So I don't know if it's maybe not her stifle joint and maybe her hock, but we'll get her checked out and we'll see. And this little girl's so tired, but she's so darn sweet. We are sleeping in the hay. We're tired. Pretty little girl.
A few days after she arrived to the farm, we did have Dr. Wagner out to give her a checkup because she did have a little bit of a runny nose and we didn't want to put her back on the trailer. So this was Dr. Wagner giving her an exam.
and checking her leg to see if it's her stifle joint or not, which Dr. Wagner at this point did think it was her stifle joint. So she did do blood work, and she also had a little bit of a runny nose, so we did get that tested. She did have an upper respiratory infection, and she did take some antibiotics for a couple days. But after that, she was doing much better and was on the road to recovery. So our next step was to bring her in for an actual exam and some x-rays at the clinic. So when we got Penelope down to MVP, we were going to do some x-rays, and Dr. Wagner was also going to ultrasound this. However, the step off the back of our trailer was rather large, and Penelope just would not get off the trailer. So we ended up doing some x-rays and the ultrasound in the back of our trailer.
Some traumatic injury, I think, to the inside of this stifle, and I honestly haven't seen an injury like this before, so I'd love to guess on what happened, but or there's a chance it's congenital. Again, not something that I've seen congenitally before, but right off the bat, this is just a view straight from the side of her joint. Okay. You can see there's debris in here that's not supposed to be there. Okay. But I didn't initially know where it came from. And it comes, through these images, I could see this debris. But when you get back here and start to see these condyles, you see there's irregularity or like a moth-eaten appearance at the back of the joint. Okay. And then when you come here, you can see this is the outside condyle of that stifle joint, and it's relatively normal, but the inside is very, very abnormal. So it's moth-eaten all through here. So I don't have a super clear picture, like I said, of what caused this, but there's definitely a lot of abnormality here. Okay. I was going to ultrasound it just to see kind of what the inside joint looks like. Okay. The inside joint and the front joint communicate, and they're both really, really enlarged. Okay. So sometimes quarter horses, which is like the majority of what we work on, will have congenital malformation of the bone here, but it doesn't usually look like this. Okay. So I'm wondering if there was some trauma that kind of broke off this condyle, and that's where all the fragments are coming from. But could she have gotten kicked or something? Possibly, but it'd be weird because that's the inside of the joint. So I just don't know exactly how this happened. Could it be a birth defect? That's what the congenital bone malformation I was talking about. Okay. But again, I haven't seen one that looks particularly like this. Okay. And then the fragmentation that we see in the front of the joint doesn't really make sense with that. That would have had to be broken off from somewhere. Where if it's congenitally malformed, it's just missing. Right. Gotcha. Dr. Wagner did ultrasound that area as well and did not see anything additionally that she didn't see in the x-rays. So at this point, we really think that Penelope's stifle joint is a deformation. Other than that, this girl is doing well. She's meeting the donkeys here for the first time. We let the donkeys in after she got over her snotty nose. So basically what we're going to do with her going forward is we're going to test the joint fluid next. To see if there's some type of infection possibly in the joint, and if not, then we're just going to keep her pasture sound and comfortable for the rest of her life. She can obviously still get around. She does drag her foot a little bit, but this little girl is unstoppable. So we have been letting her out into the paddock area to get some exercise, and this was from the first time we let her out, and let me tell you, the herd was very excited to see her. Penelope was very unsure about leaving the barn, but Taryn helped her out, and she went out to the fence line, and the herd was absolutely ecstatic to meet her for the first time.
I know, what do you think? I know, it's a baby Belgian. The whole herd is coming in to see her. Oh my God, this is amazing. Every time she goes out now, she gets a little bit more brave.
She's going right to Stanley. Oh, go Marty! Yeah, go Marty! You like her? Is she your girlfriend? Everybody stopped what they were doing to come in to see the baby. Absolutely crazy. Amazing. And they're all so exciting. Look at you, pretty girl. Look at you, pretty girl. Yeah, I like some. What you doing, little Penelopes? What are you doing? Are you trying to figure out what to do with your hooves? Yeah. Miley and is that Andy? It's Andy grooming. My goodness. So many new couples.
But little Penelope is doing well, and she does hang out now with Walter in the paddock area, and it's really awesome to watch her grow up, and she's getting so big in just the short amount of time that we've had her. So we're going to keep her pasture sound and make her comfortable for the rest of her life, and she's never going to have to work a day in her life. But that's what's been happening here on the farm. As you can see, everybody else is out in the pasture and comfortable and living a happy retirement life. But like I said, I'll do these videos in a couple different parts since there were so many horses that were rescued all together. So stay tuned for more updates on the horses.
So something else that we are doing as a fundraiser, we are working with HF&C Amarillo, who is our feed store. We're working with them this holiday season, and we're doing a hay drive called Hay for the Holidays.
Since the herd has grown so much over the last few months, we changed their diet over to beardless wheat. So the horses are going through 6 round bales of beardless wheat every 3 to 4 days. So we are doing a hay drive for Hay for the Holidays. If you'd like to send a donation of hay to the horses, you can do that through HF&C Amarillo. We also have a few horses staying in the barn that have some special needs, so they also use square bales of beardless wheat, along with Alpha Pro that we make for them into a mash. So if you'd like to send a donation of beardless wheat in square bales, you can do that as well. And as always, we always need Alpha Pro, and that all can be purchased through HF&C Amarillo. And we can't thank you all enough for your generosity and kindness during the holiday season.
But that's what's been happening here around the farm with everybody. And Mr. Liam is behind me. Can you say hi, buddy? Oh, it's Mr. Liam. There's Mr. Liam. I know, you're such a good boy. You're so pretty.
I know. You tell everyone hi. Do you want to tell everyone about our Patreon account? That we have a Patreon account and that you have your own tier and that videos of you are posted every day. Yeah, under the Liam tier. You got itches? Yeah, what do you think, pal? I know. Tell everyone you said hi. Yeah. But we do have a Patreon account, and membership is only $5 per month. If you do want to be a part of the Liam tier, there are extra videos posted of Liam every single day. So head on over to patreon.com, and that's at Fletcher Farms Amarillo 817. I know, tell them all about it. But that's what's been happening here around the farm, and an update on some of our horses here that we've recently rescued. And Mr. Liam, there's Mr. Liam. But stay tuned. Lots coming up. We'll do more updates on the rest of the horses and how they're doing from all the rest of the rescued horses that we've gotten in. Pretty much how everything is going here. And thank you again so much for watching. We do still have our medical fundraiser going for all these new horses that we've rescued, all 42 new horses. We did not include medical in their fundraisers because we didn't know what the medical bills were going to be, and we didn't want to raise funds that we didn't need. So there is a fundraiser up at bighooffoundation.org for all the medical bills for all these horses. Like I said, some of them have had eye cancer and all kinds of medical concerns, arthritis, different stuff, just a bunch of different things, the EPM treatments, everything. So we have a medical fundraiser going, and then also we have our hay for the holidays. And Liam said, we definitely want hay for the holidays, right? Yes. But that's what's been happening here on the farm. And a rooster just ran past me in front of me. But that's what's been happening here on the farm. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate your support. And we will have more updates coming soon. So thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate your support. Thanks. Bye.